Hello there and welcome back to another video, and we are looking at Inter Milan versus Liverpool last night, where Liverpool actually won the game 2-0 in the end, but it wasn't plain sailing all the way through, and we did come up against a really tough opponent, and an opponent that, I'll be totally honest with you, I haven't watched Inter Milan or Serie A great deal this year. It's been one of those sorts of leagues that I've watched when there hasn't, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but I've watched it when there hasn't really been anything else on. It's not the best way to watch football. I think I watched like a little bit of AC Milan versus Inter Milan. I've watched a couple of minutes of like Roma games and stuff like that just because they happen to be on. And it's normally when I'm waiting for like the UFC or something to start like late in the evening on BT Sport or something like that. So I haven't watched a lot of Inter Milan. I know that they won the title last season. They had like Lukaku and such like that as well. They had Antonio Conte and stuff as well. Listen, wherever Inter Milan are in terms of top of the table, I think they're either first or second. Not entirely sure which one it is. I could look it up, but I'm not going to because it doesn't really matter to me where they are in their league. The point being, this is a highly competitive team in their league, and they've also done really well in the Champions League as well. They're through to this stage of the Champions League, and they've come up against Liverpool. We have come up against Inter Milan. By the way some people talk about Inter Milan, it was almost as if we were coming up against an English League Two team or something, and like we should have been smacking these lot like 5-6-0. That's never going to be the case. They've got some really good quality players. And in terms of good quality players, they've just got some really good defenders as well. I know their names, but I just wanted to look to double check. Skriniar, really good defender. De Vrij, really good defender. Had a difficult time last night, and for some reason did not get substituted with what I thought was... He said he was seeing double vision or something like that, or had like blurred vision or something, couldn't see clearly, and somehow made it until... When did he get subbed off? He got subbed off in the 87th minute with not very good vision. Incredible. And Bastoni as well, who actually did a really good job on Salah up until Salah scored later on in the game. Then you move into that midfield that Inter Milan had, and if you don't know anybody, you'd know Arturo Vidal. He's been everywhere, played everywhere. I'm pretty sure he's played for Juventus, Bayern Munich, Barcelona. Is that right? Pretty sure it is. Inter Milan now, he's been everywhere, and he's a warrior of a midfielder. Brozovic, always been at Inter Milan since I can remember. Çalhanoğlu as well, used to play for AC Milan, plays for Inter Milan these days. Ivan Perisic, Denzel Dumfries is someone that I don't really know. I think he came from the Eredivisie as well, but by all accounts looked all right. Just seemed to struggle a little bit going forward. And then in the front line, we know Edin Dzeko, used to play for Man City. I think he then played for Roma, and now he plays for Inter Milan, and is doing really well for those guys. And Lautaro Martinez as well, and Handanovic in goal as well. They've got a star-studded, while also possibly a little bit aging squad. And the likes of Alexis Sanchez to come off the bench. They had some good options to come off the bench as well. This was supposed to be a tough game because it's this stage of the Champions League. It's this stage of the Champions League and the next leg that decide who goes through to the quarterfinals. It's a big stage with big teams, big names, big expectations as well, and big challenges. And we came up against a team that gave us a big challenge. 75 minutes, I think we both went at this point without a shot on target. The fact that we were able to keep Inter Milan the whole game without having a shot on target at all is nothing short of incredible, and also says that while I've named these Inter Milan players as being very, very good players, and that should be respected as a collective, as a team, as well as individuals, we also have some exceptional world-class players. And for me, while we scored 2 goals, which was great to see, 2 good goals as well, some unexpected as well. They were like, especially Firmino's header. I did not see that happening in the fashion that it did. I didn't see our first goal. So I'll be honest with you, up until that moment, If this game had been a 0-0 draw, I would not have been surprised. It's these little moments of either surprise or quality crossing, quality deliveries. So Andy Robertson, and Jurgen Klopp has talked about this, said that it's down to the analysts. I can't remember I don't want to say his name. Peter something. I can't say his second name. But apparently the analyst, that header of Firmino wasn't something by chance. It was something that they'd worked on in training, something they'd identified at a corner, something that they could take advantage of. Now you got to think as well, Firmino, I don't think he's the tallest player of all time. Well, obviously not. But on that pitch last night, I think if I'm going to take a ballpark guess, I'd say that Firmino's 5'11", 6 foot, and he's being challenged by a centre back, an experienced centre back who's 6'4" and will have physical presence on him as well. But he gets that header off, and I know a lot of people are coining it the no-look header, and that is exactly what it looks like. But it could not have been a more accurate header into the exact perfect place that you'd want it to be in, except he's headed it backwards. It's just, while Firmino, from the time he came on until that time he scored the goal, didn't do a lot. But what made the changes for Liverpool were the substitutions. I can't say anything bad really about the whole team. I really can't. I think the only person that disappointed me slightly was Sadio Mane's performance. It wasn't the best. It really wasn't. He got into some good positions, but if I'm going to look at the whole picture, I would say that Sadio Mane was the most ineffective of the players that were playing. Jota, unfortunately, and I've just read before I recorded this video, is that he's actually going to be out of the next league game due to ankle ligament damage as well, being a little bit worse than they thought it was. But they're hoping he'll be available for the final against Chelsea on the 27th of February. So fingers crossed on that one, because Jota's been really, really good for us. Just struggled last night, but I felt that Mane also struggled as well. I'm also struggling to see, this is going to sound really harsh, I know he won the African Cup of Nations with Senegal. Fine. Totally fine. No worries. I don't think that Mane warranted getting his starting position back just because. I actually felt, all right, it's hard to go with a new signing like Luis Diaz and just have him start a game like this. Fair enough. You can say it's difficult. I would have took the leap. Or you play Jota left wing and you play Firmino through the middle. You do that. Whatever. And you have Sadio Mane from the bench. Because, yes, I think he got player of the tournament for Senegal. But for Liverpool, his levels seem to be a little bit lower at the moment. They can come back up. I'm sure they will at some point. But I don't think he's warranted his starting position at the moment. And that is really harsh. And that is possibly being a little bit too harsh on the back of the fact that we've got a really good 2-0 victory to take into the second leg against a very tough Inter Milan team. And he didn't cost us anything, which is good. That's obviously really, really good. And he's still there as a good quality, a really good quality player, as a good option for us. But I just think the options that we do have, like having Luis Diaz and also having Jota being able to play on that position on the left-hand side as well, I feel that at the moment they're better options. That's just my opinion. Could be harsh. I have to be honest though. I'm not gonna lie and say Mane is a brilliant player. He's just not being brilliant at the moment. I think that's fair to say. I do think that's fair to say. Just because these guys have done really, really great things for us doesn't mean we can't be a little bit critical. I don't think I'm being offensive or anything here, but I'm just getting my opinion across. That's all I'm saying. The substitutions that we made, and I want to go to these substitutions that we made, were all pretty much on the same sort of minute, apart from Firmino coming on for Jota at half-time because Jota had to go off. Then we made 3 substitutions. Naby Keita came on for Harvey Elliott. Luis Diaz came on for Sadio Mane. And Jordan Henderson, surprisingly for me, came on for Fabinho as well. Later on in the match, James Milner came on in the 86th minute for Thiago and made his 800th career appearance. Incredible numbers by James Milner. And you know what? I don't care what anybody says, because I genuinely think and hope that we will be able to tie Mohamed Salah down to a new contract. I would like us to be able to somehow keep Milner at the club, because I think he's still got things to offer. Maybe less so on the pitch, but I'd like him to still be involved while he wants to play. I think the only other option would be for him to go back to Leeds. Other than that, but I think at this moment in time, I still think James Milner's too good for Leeds. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion. I like having James Milner at this club. If it's not too excessive in terms of wages, keep him at the club. If we can, maybe a year extension. Why not? Because his leadership, his mentality, and his presence in the dressing room. I know people don't always like that type of thing. Oh, it's about what they do on the pitch. Yes, it is sometimes. But you don't get these experienced veteran characteristics from young players, from brand new players. It doesn't always happen. Same with like Jordan Henderson, keeping these guys around. They can help you transform, because this team will need to transform in a few years as well, because eventually we won't have a Mohamed Salah, won't have a Sadio Mane. Eventually one day we won't have a Virgil van Dijk, won't have an Alisson. And having, these guys help the transition along. You know what I mean? I'm talking in a tangent at the moment anyway. Talking about the substitutions that we made, those guys that came on, Fabinho for me didn't do anything wrong in my opinion. It just didn't do anything wrong. Maybe just didn't do anything great. But I felt I was a bit like, oh my God, why are we taking Fabinho off? Like, is there no one else that could come off? And maybe there wasn't in Klopp's mind. But you can't argue against it, because we looked much more dynamic. Because in the second half, the first half was much more, it was 50-50. I felt we had better chances. I think we had better chance creation than Inter Milan. Inter Milan were trying to catch us on the counter, and they almost did a couple of times if it wasn't for an absolutely 2018-2019 performance and 19-20 performance from Virgil van Dijk. And also Konate was absolutely fantastic for us. Like, both of them together were outrageously good, but Virgil van Dijk was again showing why I still believe he's the best defender on planet Earth right now. 100%. And I'll say that with my chest out. I really will. Virgil van Dijk is the best centre-back on the planet right now. And I don't care what people say. If you want to say, what's his name, from Diaz or whatever from Man City, that's up to you. Totally fine. Everybody has their opinions. This is my opinion. That's all I'm saying. They were really, really good, and we needed that defence today. Last night, I should say. We needed that defence so badly. Like, if we didn't have Van Dijk on the pitch, do we win that game? I'm not sure. I'm really, really not sure. And the same with Konate. Like, Matip is great. Konate is great as well. They just offer different characteristics, and this game was much more made for having someone like Konate, having that pace as well, and also while having that physicality as well. Really, really good. It just changed the dynamic when we made these substitutions. And Jordan Henderson seemed, because in the second half we seemed to start losing a little bit of control. Not even a little bit, actually. We lost a lot of control in that midfield area as well. The way they were packing out that midfield was crazy. And the way that they were coming at us in the second half. And I think if it had gone on a little bit longer, we would have been on, a bit more at risk of actually conceding a goal, which is just not what you want at this stage, because if they'd have scored a goal before us, they would have shut up shop and put everybody in defence and made it exceptionally much more difficult than it already was to break them down. But Henderson, people have been critical of Henderson recently, like a lot of criticism being levelled his way, especially after Burnley as well. And I don't know why they're specifically just going in on Henderson for some reason, when we've had some poorer performances from other players over the course of the season, over the course of last season as well. But Henderson came on and he was absolutely fantastic, and he was a great epitome of what a good captain is, like a great captain is. He was fantastic for us, really helped get control back and help us start pushing. We were losing possession by a lot. We ended up winning possession in the second half a lot, and overall, just in general. But while that doesn't necessarily matter, we just seem to be a bit more dangerous. Seem to be a bit more, what is the word? Seem to be a little bit more ruthless in what we were trying to do. And that's where you end up with the chance creation coming from a corner, because we are trying things. We're starting to push. We're starting to get much more control on the game. And then, not so long after, we're literally talking probably about 8 minutes after, Mohamed Salah puts a ball. I genuinely don't know what happened. Like, he didn't even see. It's like Jota against, who was it against? Against Arsenal. Didn't have to hit the ball that hard. Just, it was the right place, perfect time. Goalkeeper's rooted to the spot. Literally looks at the shot. Seems like he's gone he's gone over this side, and the ball's going this side, and he's just gone like he just knows, like he's gone the wrong way. The defenders have been caught out. Mohamed Salah gets the second goal. Job done. Job done in the first leg, but it is, as Klopp would always say, it's only half time. It's only half time in the tie, and there's no away goals rule, which I completely forgot as well until last night when they were talking about it. So yeah, there's no away goals rule or anything like that that could give us that little bit more of a benefit. Now we've got to go back to Anfield, which I'm fully up for as well. I think we can get the job done over 2 legs. I don't think that it means that it's said and done right now. Because to go out and maybe get like a 0-0 at Anfield, it's just not in Liverpool's characteristics to try and go and limit, amount of chances from them and blunt ourselves at the same time. I think we can limit their chances, but we'll, like we did today, last night. God, I keep saying today. You know what? You know when it's been a really crap working day and your mind is just all over the place? It's all right. Don't worry. I've got therapy tomorrow morning and I'm looking forward to it, and I need it as well. So, hey, clear heads by tomorrow. Everything will be much, much better, I'm sure. But honestly, that game was like a chess match. It was so gripping to watch because you just genuinely didn't know which way this game was going to fall. Would it have gone to Inter? Would it have gone to Liverpool? Or would it end up being a draw? Thankfully for us, I'm glad it went our way. Could have gone the other way. It really could have gone the other way. But hey, it is what it is. We go into the second game with a good little advantage as well, 2-0 up. Other knockout games as well are pretty interesting. I think Salzburg and Bayern drew 1-1. Late on, it was for Bayern that they actually equalised. Obviously, Man City smacking the crap out of Sporting. PSG currently beating Real Madrid, and that'll be an interesting second leg because it's only 1-0. Mbappe in the last minute of the game or something like that scored a good goal. And then you've still got first leg games for the likes of Chelsea versus Lille, Villarreal versus Juventus, Atletico versus United. Come on, Atletico for once. And Benfica versus Ajax could be nuts. It really could be nuts, just because Ajax are just such a free attacking team. It's unreal. Still a lot of games to go as well, a lot of time to go as well. But hey, that's all I've got for today. Anyway, I'll get a preview out for the weekend because we play Norwich. Yeah, we play Norwich at the weekend. Norwich at Anfield at 3 o'clock on Saturday as well. So I'll get a preview out for that tomorrow, most likely after I've been for. I have my therapy in the morning, got my walk that I have in the afternoon as well, just to get out and, really embrace life at that point, because everything feels great after it. And then I'll get a video out probably late evening on the Friday as well. So hey, let's keep a lookout for that one as well. But hey, thank you ever so much for watching. If you've managed to watch this video all the way to nearly 19 minutes, thank you ever so much for that. I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate you as well. Do take care of yourselves. I hope whatever happens this day, whatever happens on Friday, whatever happens at the weekend, I hope that you guys are safe. I hope that you guys are taking care of yourselves and that you are as good as you can be at the moment in time as well. I wish you nothing but the very best. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, please do like the video and subscribe if you feel like it. You don't have to. It's entirely up to you. But anyway, for now, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.